lot of amazing coaches on Gary Patterson's staff. Good afternoon and welcome to the Soccer Lacrosse Stadium here in Fresno, California, where the Fresno State Bulldogs are set to face off against the Colorado State Rams. I'm Betsy Lauritzen. TCU's Josh Doxson is one of 3 finalists for the annual Bolitnikoff Award. Fresno State coming off a huge win on Thursday, beating the Cowgirls here at home 3-2. The 4th straight season, TCU's women's soccer leads the Big 12 in attendance. TCU women's tennis will open up its spring season January 6th. Trevally Honor Flight, established in 2013, has raised more than $2.3 million and sent over 850 World War II, Vietnam War, and Korean War veterans to their respective war memorials in our nation's capital. You can watch the Horned Frogs take on the University of Oregon Ducks on January 2nd in the Valero Alamo Bowl. After suffering a tough loss to the University of Texas, TCU women's volleyball looked to bounce back on Wednesday. Dogs returned home still looking for their first conference win after suffering tough road losses at Colorado State and Wyoming over the weekend. I'm Betsy Lauritzen, and this has been your TCU Sports Report. There are a lot of amazing coaches on Gary Patterson's staff, but there's one in particular that puts the faith in TCU football.
I am the TCU FCA Life and Character Coach, and what that consists of is doing life with us students here at TCU. Some days I'm a pastor, some days I'm a friend, some days I'm a mentor, some days I'm a coach. But in short, what that really consists of is just really coaching the hearts of our student athletes, helping them to grow in their relationship with Christ, helping them in their performance, helping them to just to see what's going on in life, helping them to make good decisions, career decisions, life decisions, relationships. It is doing life with student athletes here at TCU.
Like the numerous athletes he coaches, Chauncey himself found Christ's path for him during college.
While GA coached there, I met now my future wife who invited me to church, and that church is where I gave my life to the Lord. Just when I was coaching, felt like God was calling me in a different path, and He opened up the door for FCA and been with Fellowship Christian Athletes for 12 years now and almost 6 years here at TCU.
Perhaps the most important role he plays is not on the field, but in the home as a father.
I've been shocked as how intriguing the students are, man, to want to be a part of that, to know my kids, to know my wife, and really even with the football guys, I've been shocked at how often they ask me, how are your kids doing? And I've had several, guys over the years say, they didn't have a dad, they didn't have a family that looks like my family.
At the end of the day, the one thing he strives his athletes to remember, God is involved in it all.
Sports, we learn so much about God. I think we learn how to fight through adversity. I think we learn how to push through our pain. I think we learn to appreciate teamwork and develop character and develop faith. And so when I see students performing at their highest level, I always tell them that is our way of telling God, thank you. Thank you for the talents that you've given me. Thank you for the gifts that you've given me. That, man, that we take the talents and that we give our best, that's the way that we glorify God. And so when I see them doing that, when I see the guys, all the football players, run to the end of the field before a game and bow down and saying a prayer, to me that's huge because they don't have to do that. And sometimes, a lot of times I take notice of other teams, but it's neat to see what God is doing here at TCU.
For TCU Sports Broadcasting, I'm Betsy Lauritzen.
Our first report is from our reporter, Betsy Lauritzen, who had a chance to sit down and talk with Fresno State head coach Lauren Netherby-Sewell about tonight's matchup against UNLV. This is Fresno State volleyball from Learfield.
Thanks, Stephen. The Dogs returned home still looking for their first conference win after suffering tough road losses at Colorado State and Wyoming over the weekend. Tonight's matchup features current conference leader UNLV, who presents a unique challenge to the Bulldogs. I had the chance to sit down with head coach Lauren Netherby-Sewell to preview the matchup.
Just the way the schedule worked this year, we're opening up with the best teams. So it's going to be rough out of the gate, but I think we'll find our stride here coming up, hopefully. We went on the road, probably the toughest road trip in the conference, going to Wyoming and Colorado State. I like how we played against Colorado State, with the exception of one set. It was back and forth and quite a battle. So our offense was pretty solid. They were shutting down Alicia. They really keyed on her, but we had other people step up, and we were still able to hit at a pretty high percentage. And defensively, we slowed them down, especially in the first and third set. So I like the way we played. I think at home, that match we could have pulled off. And then Wyoming, we just were flat. It's a really tough place to play, just the altitude. The ball is different. They use kind of a white ball and a white gym. It's just so much to acclimate ourselves to. So we kind of got freaked out by that a little bit. I have a lot of newcomers that haven't, our sophomores and freshmen have not played at Wyoming before. So it was just a tough experience, but definitely brought up some things we were able to learn from. So this week, again, we're coming up against possibly the best team in the conference in UNLV right now. And so we've got our work cut out for us for sure. They're top in the conference in almost every statistical category. So they're playing really efficiently, they're blocking well, they're digging the most balls in the conference. So they're just playing really good volleyball right now. It looks like their setter came back healthier, stronger, better, which made a big difference. And then a player that they redshirted last year, Bree Hamill, who's a right side, is back as a super senior. So she's playing really, really well. So right now they just have a really comprehensive team. We have to outserve and pass them. I think that's our chance. And we have to have a really good, solid home crowd, you know, that's loud and boisterous to give us a little bit of an edge.
Fresno State women's basketball team earned their 5th win of the season tonight, making them a perfect 5-0 here at the Save Mart Center. 3 dogs scored in double figures, with Candace White leading the way with 19 points. Ale Gomez had 15 points, going 3 from 3 from the 3-point line tonight, and Jordana Porter finished with 14 points in 14 minutes of action. The Dogs defeated the Broncos 80-53. The Dogs return to the Save Mart Center Friday to play the Stanislaus State Warriors. For Fresno State Athletics, I'm Betsy Lauritzen. Central Valley Honor Flight, established in 2013, has raised more than $2.3 million and sent over 850 World War II, Vietnam War, and Korean War veterans to their respective war memorials in our nation's capital. On this day, we welcomed our Central Valley heroes home.
Oh, beautiful, for heroes proved in liberating strife. Who more than self their country loved, and mercy more than life. America, America, may God thy gold refine, till all success be nobleness, and ever again divine. And you know, when I was in school, we used to sing it something like this. Listen here. Oh, beautiful, far spacious skies, far amber waves of grain, far purple mountain majesties, over the fruited plain. But now wait a minute, I'm talking about America, sweet America. You know, God done shed his grace on thee. He crowned thy good. Yes, he did. Heavy brotherhood from sea to shining sea. You know, I wish I had somebody to help me sing this. He crowned our good.
Lauritzen, and this is your TCU Sports Report. TCU women's soccer played its second conference game of the season, playing host to the Cowgirls of Oklahoma State. The Frogs dominated the Cowgirls in the entire game. The second goal of the game came off the foot of junior forward Michelle Prokop. With that goal, Prokop became the 6th all-time leader on the scoring list with 21 career goals. The Frogs defeated the Cowgirls 3-0 and remain unbeaten in Big 12 conference play. The Horned Frogs travel to Morgantown, West Virginia to take on the 14th-ranked West Virginia Mountaineers this Friday at 6 p.m. After suffering a tough loss to the University of Texas, TCU women's volleyball looked to bounce back on Wednesday against the University of Oklahoma. The Horned Frogs took an early 2-0 lead, but found it difficult to put away the Sooners, who have yet to be shut out all season. With the help of senior Ashley Smith with 15 kills, the Frogs were able to clinch the 5th set and send the Sooners packing with the 3-2 win. The women's volleyball team prepares to travel to Lubbock, Texas to take on the Red Raiders of Texas Tech. The football team returned home in a battle of the horns against the University of Texas Longhorns. In another high-scoring performance for the Frogs, true freshman Cavante Turpin put on a highlight reel, including this 49-yard touchdown from quarterback Trayvon Boykin. The Frogs defeated the Longhorns handedly 50-7. The Horned Frogs travel to Manhattan, Kansas to take on the Wildcats of Kansas State. You can watch the game live at 6:30 on Fox. I'm Betsy Lauritzen, and this is your TCU Sports Report.